What is up? It's your boy Kate Sif Wins back with not a video I ever thought I would make, considering this game and how I was so excited to play it when it was first announced, or wanted to play it when it was first announced, and excited when it first came out. But unfortunately, as I said, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm not someone who's going to lie or manipulate things. I just tell you how I honestly feel. And right now, Borderlands 3 is not in a good state. If you haven't already heard about it, but it was revealed yesterday, it pretty much dropped a bombshell, but they came out with another hotfix, and that's putting it lightly. It was a fix, alright. I don't know if it was a hotfix. It was something else, but basically, it was just a insane amount of just nerfs and buffs and just all over the place. I'm not here to argue about how many were nerfs, how many were buffs. That's not the point. The point is that this isn't the first time, and it's clearly not going to be the last time. But I feel the irony is I feel like my character I play as, Amara Siren, is probably the least affected by this. So I feel terrible for the other characters, especially like the flak or whatnot. How many times have you had to change your build? But basically, a lot of these weapon nerfs and trust me, the nerfs, they hit hard. Oh my god, they don't just nerf something, they just make it unusable. But so many builds are just absolutely tarnished. I mean, like, you can't even use it. You're gonna have to change everything you did. And I think the funniest thing is, like, the week before they had the rare enemy spawn rate, and I was trying to farm the red jabber to get two types of grenade mods, a recurring hex and a rain firestorm. Unfortunately, I didn't get any of them, but I guess I'm glad I didn't, because you're not going to be able to use them anymore. If you want to check out how bad they nerfed them, basically, the little heads up, you can't use them anymore. The flacker shotgun, I'll admit I didn't use it. I have a flacker, but I didn't really use it, but I know what it is, know what it does. One of my friends that plays it, that's his favorite legendary. Well, can't use that anymore. My favorite legendary, personally, the Cutsman, got a little nerf, but I should be happy the only thing they nerfed was 25% damage, because the other weapons, when they got hit hard, they got hit hard. Like, they got smacked hard. Like, good God almighty, to allow you to hit a nerf. And I still think you could use that, but my point being here is, it's just, and then they try to explain, well, we want to make the weapons that nobody uses better. There's a reason why nobody uses them. They're not good. They're trash. They're not usable. Oh, like, I was reading, like, the 10-gallon got an 8% damage increase. Like, who the hell runs a 10-gallon? Like, and when you really look at it through the numbers, these buffs for these weapons that they're buffing, it doesn't even matter. They're still used. They're gonna get you a shit on in Mayhem Mode 3. But the part that's most frustrating, regardless if you can find uses for certain weapons or not, it's just got to be the most frustrating thing in the world that we're barely a month into this game, and how many, like, builds have had to be changed simply because of all these nerfs and buffs and all these broken builds that you can't use anymore. They're not viable. It's just like, I play games for, I don't know if people realize this. I know this may be a shocking revelation, but I play them for fun. To have fun. I shouldn't have a chore to do. Granted, I understand that farming, you may argue, well, farming can be a chore, and it can be. But now, why am I going to farm? Because anything that gets made somewhat good, the way they're nerfing stuff, why even make videos about it? Like, I feel bad for some of the legendary videos I made, because I told certain people that, hey, these are great things to use. Now some of those things, they're completely useless. Like, you would never use them. Or they're not nowhere near as good as they once were. And it's just like, I feel bad for someone who comes in late and like, well, it doesn't work the way it is. And, I made a certain legendary video on it, and it's just like, it's not right. I mean, and then here talking about balance. And everyone's like, well, we don't want another Borderlands 2 situation. Borderlands 2 is a 7-year-old game that people still play. There's a reason why people still play it. I mean, you act like, I remember like people saying, well, Modern Warfare 2, this example, wasn't balanced. People played the hell out of that game. They love the game to this day. It's one of the favorite Call of Duties, period. And the thing about that game is, at least I can understand people from where they're coming from in terms of balance, because that's a, quote, player versus player. This is player versus enemy. Because, guys, I got a little reality call. I don't know if anyone's noticed this or not, but what's something that's not in Borderlands 3 yet? I don't know, the raid bosses. They haven't put a raid boss in yet. So what's going to happen now that all your things have been, your builds have been destroyed and everything's been weaker? Everyone has made weaker across the board. What are you going to do with the raid balls? They're going to make them impossibly hard to beat, and with these weaker builds. And the funny part is, it's like this game was supposed to promote multiple builds, but with all these nerfs and buffs, it's like they're forcing you to play with stuff you don't want to play as and do things you don't want to do. Let me have my fun and play. And for everyone saying it's too, some builds are broken or whatnot, and listen, there is not one build in this game that comes close to like an Evil Smasher. Anyone remember that from Borderlands 2? Or a B in Conference Call? Anyone remember that from Borderlands 2? I mean, like, nothing even came close to that. It's not even in the same stratosphere of that. But, because what people gotta understand is a lot of this stuff to get, it requires time to farm. And people don't have time. Like, I have a little bit more time than most, but a lot of people don't have that time and day. Not to mention that everything is a world drop, so you can't specifically farm a lot of enemies to get that one specific thing you want, because everything is like a world drop basically, which is stupid in my opinion. I mean, I still to this day remember, like, Hunter Hell Quest, farming to get the B, as well as those trees that drop from the Tiny Tina DLC from Borderlands 2. Unkempt Herald gives you is dropped from Savage Lee Auditory vending machines. Like Conference Call from the Warrior. I always try to get Norfleet from, what's the one raid boss from the first DLC of Borderlands 2? I can't think of his name. Hyperius. But, like, you remember certain things of where certain things usually drop, and you know where to go to get them. Or Sham Shield from the bunker. But, like, in this game, it's just everything's a world drop, so you're hoping to get that one legendary in the version you want from all these other things. Like, I did in a previous video that, like, that loot tank farm thing, there was like 200 legendaries on the ground, and guess what? None of them are anything I wanted. It's like as if they know you can do all these loot tank farms, but it's like, you know what? They can have it. They can have this whole farm to themselves. But guess what? They're not going to get anything from it. And if they do find something they can use, guess what? Nerf time. Because, players, smarter players than me, are going to find better things to use and remake their builds. But why am I going to go through the trouble to do that? They're just going to nerf it next way the way they're going. I mean, there's been more nerfs and buffs in this game in this 1 month than I think Borderlands 2 ever had in a whole year. Not even close, probably more than that. Like, good lord. I mean, I think I read it someone in the comment section of some other videos that were just not happy with this. What are we like? Is this like a beta? Are we beta testers? Are we testing all this stuff? Because they obviously have all these changes. Obviously, they never played their game, and I have theories. Did they honestly play their game? And I think and I can't speak on this forever because I don't play as this character, and I want to. But a lot of times I've been, obviously this, story. If you haven't ever figured out, I'm not a big fan of the story of this. It kind of is a drag to get through because certain elements. But like, I haven't played as Mosey and or Mose, and basically I've been hearing that the Iron Bear, like if you play on Mayhem 3, it gets destroyed in 3 seconds. So like, well, we raised the Iron Bear mech by 50% health. Do the math, 50% health. What's that mean? You're going to be in battle now for 5 seconds instead of 3 or something? Like, I'm not going to do specific decimal numbers, but you get the point. Like, if you really think about it, you're just adding another second or two onto your lifespan. You get hit by anything, you're dead. What's the point of even having the action ability? And I know there might be a specific build that increases that time. I don't play as them. I'm just going by other players that play this or whatnot. But I don't understand why it's like they don't want to have fun. They just want players to just like, I don't know, like just, I don't know what their game plan. I don't know what they're thinking. And I always use this thing. They keep talking about, people say, oh, they're going to do performance update. They're going to do perform. Yeah, how many times have they said that? Like, I remember, and listen, I like the game right now. It's in a good state. But I remember Apex, they kept saying when they had the whole code leave, code net thing. You remember that from season 1 and 2? And I remember them saying every week, oh, we're looking into it. We're looking into it. That took months before they fixed that thing. They finally fixed it, but like, you know, I haven't had one for season 3 yet, but like, it took a long time. So everyone's saying, oh, well, they keep saying, how long until this comes out? They've been saying that for weeks. It's funny that they want to nerf all this weapon stuff people want to use to have a good time, to farm and whatnot, but yet they don't want to fix things that actually break a game. You know, like the game loading up properly, your save data getting deleted. Oh, here's something that happened to me, and I apologize to having anyone else, but like your whole bank inventory getting deleted, you know, randomly for no reason. You know, all 50 things in my bank gone, but oh, we don't care about that. We just care about making the game more of a stressful environment, because everything you got is going to be negated, and then when you get new stuff that you have that's good, it's going to be negated too. But nah, you know, who cares, you know. But I tell you what, it's not going to put me in a bad mood for long, because there are other games coming out. And next week, if you watch my October video, what I'm going to play for October, next week I got 3 games I'm playing. They're coming out. You know, I got some Medieval, a childhood favorite of mine. I got Outer Worlds. I'm going to play some Trails of Cold Steel 3. I got other things I want to play and want to get to. So the fact that we haven't even got to the first one of the DLCs, and as I said, I will play the DLCs of Borderlands, but I'm not going to devote my time to a game that's just going to be a, you know, a chore to play. And I don't want to keep constantly farming for things, knowing that it doesn't matter how long I farm, that thing's going to be irrelevant by the time I use it for a few days, because by the next patch it's going to be fixed. It's going to be nerfed. You know, and I hear everyone saying, you know, the few people saying, oh, well, this is good, this is great. If you think it's good, in all my means, keep playing it. You know, I'm not going to hurt your time. You know, you enjoy it if that's what you like. You like change your build every single week, and realizing that the stuff you're using is irrelevant and trash, and then you have to find another stuff. You have all the time in the world to do that stuff. Go right ahead. I'm more power to you. I'm not going to sit here and get in a fight with that, but I got other things to do, and it's just, oh man, God. Oh my goodness. And here's another thing they could fix. You know, they keep talking about, oh, they're going to raise the inventory, and I hear they're going to do that, or the bank space or that. And how much are they going to raise it by? 10? And I heard someone saying like they can't raise it too much because the game will crash. And trust me, I believe it too with this game. Good Lord. It's just, well, I guess I'll end this video on me fighting the poor Grave War. Let's see, negative SMG snipers. And so basically the top 2 like negate everything, I guess. I don't know. Probably get shit on anyway. Another thing, I will make one comment after this guy is beaten. And granted, I'll be the first one to admit I do got a pretty bad damage modifier here, but I guess not bad. But see, the thing about it is, like, they keep talking about the Lyuda is overpowered and whatnot. Lyuda has a big weakness, and you're already seeing it right now, is the fact that it doesn't have a lot of ammo. Kind of similar to the shotguns, you know, especially the ones that take a lot of things away. But yeah, you're not gonna be doing much with this. And it takes 20 years to reload, so like... And the only reason why that does a lot of damage right there is just from the fact that if you phase slam, I'll show you, it's anointed Lyuda, so I guess one specific type of Lyuda would help you out there, but no! Never thought an Infinity Pistol would do something like that for me. So not bad, I guess. Is that what I think it is? I don't know, a tri-bolt. I don't know, I'll just pick it up. But basically, the funniest one that I think they can do for a nerf, if I could get to it. Here's another thing, like getting through the menus. Can you fix that? Like, that's something that's annoying. But this one right here, this item right here, is the funniest thing ever. They're saying basically that it originally used to be 183% damage boost, and they were saying like, well, it's not supposed to do that. We have people report, like, who reported that? Like, honestly, like, who was reported that? Hey, Gearbox, it does this much damage boost. Just thought you should know. Like, who is complaining about that? But sadly, there's probably a few people out there. But anyway, it was like 183% damage boost. It was supposed to be 113%, so we're gonna put it to 90% instead. I was just like, well, what's the point of telling me the other story then? So, like, damn. It's still a great thing to use. It's still part of a 1 HP build, but... And, yeah, the only reason why the Lyuda at the end kind of did something, especially when I did that ground smash, is because it's an anointed one. Now, as I said, I'm be fair, they did say they were going to drop more anointed. I heard that. Now, when that is, I don't know, and I'm not going to... you know, sit there and sing, you know, kumbaya with it, but like, yeah, that's the only reason why. If you phase slam, weapon damage increase 300%. But so yeah, there will be clever ways that people can get around, and I still actively, you know, got the job done here. But it's just like my biggest point is that yes, we're gonna find better ways to beat these enemies more efficiently. You know, smarter people than me are going to figure it out. But how many times are we going to go to the point where when they find these ways, they're just going to get nerfed and nerfed and nerfed and nerfed? It's like, I don't want to go through that problem. I don't want to go through this undying process of over and over. It's just like, it's like playing episode Survivor. Who's going to get cast off this time? Or this time, how many weapons are going to get nerfed and broken this time? And as I said, with my build, Amara got the least affected by it. It's all the other characters that I feel bad for. So if you are one of those character classes, I feel bad for you. Let me know, like, what unfortunately is not viable now. And cause I do got a Beastmaster at mid-30s, but I just don't want to go through all that crap. I want to have fun. I want to run around. And because at this point, a month in, you're just trying to perfect your loot, you know, to get the best possible combinations. Now it's just like, we can't even do that. We're trying to figure out like the builds for everything and whatnot. I thought it was like the movie thing, the Oscars, that symbol now. But I love the franchise. It doesn't make me not like the franchise, but I gotta be honest with you, Borderlands 3's got a lot of improving to do, and they better hope these DLCs, as I said, the October thing should be coming out soon for Borderlands. But you know, then we got the Maliwan takeover thing in November, but their first DLC, they got to figure something out. They gotta understand, like, people want to have fun. They want to have fun with builds and doing crazy stuff. And this is a PvP game. We're not, or not PvP. I'm sorry, PvE game. We're not competing against players here. We're just, fun. That's the name of the game. Fun. Madness, insanity. That's the point. And for everyone saying that it's too easy, and trust me, that's a very small group of people. That's another thing, is that people saying it's easy. That's a small group of people. There's a few people that they know what they're doing. They kick ass. They're badass. They're the real badasses. I'm not one of those people. But you don't think they're gonna raise the difficulty? I mean, anyone who's ever played Borderlands knows more difficult things are coming. You're gonna have raid bosses. You're gonna have higher difficulty modes, like Ultimate Fall Hunter mode. If they have anything similar to like Digistruct Peak, for God's sakes, and like not many people can do that legitly, unless they're like, doing some glitch to advance the whole thing. Trust me, I know I had to do that. I couldn't do it legitly, but like, it's. I want the game to get back to being fun. There's a lot of problems, and the things they need to change. There's things they need to change that they don't change, and then things that nobody asked for to change and they want to change it. I don't understand that concept. But as I said, I'm gonna take a little break from making some Borderlands videos. I'll still make them, just nowhere near as many, because I just don't want to make a legendary video and then be like, 1 week later it's obsolete, and I feel bad for that. I feel bad for people who would watch it and be like, hey, this is a good legendary, and bam, it's obsolete now. Because there's a lot of legendaries I could do, because I wanted to do that Rain Firestorm. I just didn't have it, and I think I had it at one time. Unfortunately, it fell victim to the bank glitch, where all your bank inventory is deleted, and I feel bad for people that had that happen to too. That's something you need to fix, Gearbox. And I just, sometimes I just wonder with these developers, they're so disconnected from their player bases, and I keep hearing people that this is reminding them of Anthem and Destiny, and that's not two things I want to associate Borderlands with. I don't want to associate Borderlands with Anthem and Destiny. I didn't, because I played a little bit of Destiny 1, do 2, and I only played the demo or beta of Anthem or something, whatever it's called, and it did not give me good feelings. But hopefully this is just the darkest, and hopefully the dawn is coming, because it is not looking good right now. And I can understand a lot of people just getting frustrated and say, you know what, I'm tired of this stuff, I want to play other things, and I'm not going to blame them. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever, because I'm getting to that point. I'll still play when the DLC, some fresh content comes in. But, and also, if they want to do a fix, here's another fix that I think everybody agrees on. I don't think there's anybody who doesn't want this fix. Give me the option to skip cutscenes, please, for the love of God. If I have to hear, unfortunately I gotta hear them when they're talking to you on the EchoCast, but can I please skip cutscenes so I don't have to hear who, the infamous villainous duo of the most annoying villains I've heard in a while. But I'm not going to mention their names. You know who they are. But please, that's something you need to change. But hopefully, from this point on, things can get better. But unfortunately, we're going to have a few days or weeks of just going through this crap. But if you did enjoy, or maybe you have something you don't, and listen, if you don't 100% agree with me, that's fine. Leave in the comment section below. I don't have a problem with answering questions, whatnot, because we're all not going to think the same. That's fine, but know what you want, and I'll be happy to answer it and see what we can figure out to maybe come to common ground. And because at the end of the day, the players, we need to unite. We want the game to be better. I don't think anyone wants the game to be worse. We want the game to get better. So leave in the comment section what you guys think, what needs to be changed. Also leave the a link in the description for the patronage if you still don't know what they are. If you want to read this insane list, it's like a Santa Claus Christmas list, but not something you want to read. It's not, trust me, it's not a Christmas list for a good thing. But leave it in the comment section below. But don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and comment if you did enjoy this video. And hopefully my next Borderlands video, whenever that comes, will be something more positive. But thanks for watching, and hopefully we can come back on better times. But thanks.